Hello, everybody. Welcome to the PRIDEcast, the podcast where we talk about just being gay and having fun about it. But today we're not in my usual place because we're breaking and entering. This is not our place. In fact, we're quite literally not.
Tell them that.
Listen, it was your idea. It was your idea. You wanted a
Whoa,
cafe.
you can't blame this on me.
You wanted a cafe! So I was like, you know what? I don't have the money, but I do have a hammer. We do have a theme this time around. This time around, we are talking about content creation, the VTuber sphere, and being queer. Because there's nothing better than a queer content creator. They're kind of unhinged, I mean, look at this person over here.
Hi.
Do you want to tell us about who you are? I know that you're immensely popular and everybody knows about you, particularly from very huge hits that are, talking about Vtubing or telling people to not audition to VTuber companies because they're a scam or something. I'm
only popular because I talk about Niji Sanji.
I mean, technically you should. Okay, maybe, but you know what?
I don't like your crazy eyes. Your eyes are flipping all over. I don't like that.
So do you wanna tell us about your qualifications? Like, your queer qualifications. What are your qualifications? Why do you call yourself?
I have to be qualified? Shit, I didn't study. Hi, I'm Lycoris Banashi. I'm a gender non-binary. You can choose which one you want to call me. Some people call me trans. I don't really see myself that way, but whatever fits into the LGBT. What is it called? LGBT?
Just the alphabet mafia, bitch. The alphabet mafia.
The alphabet, that's what I am. I am all of them. Gay, lesbian, trans, non-binary. That's me, baby.
And occasionally a man. Occasionally.
On
the weekends, when everybody's having fun.
Yeah, this is how I can tell. I look pretty feminine, but if I turn the back of my head, I'm balding a little bit. That's how you know I got man's.
Hey! We're not
talking.
We're not talking about my receding hairline today. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? That is so rude of you. I wish I might.
Hey, it's on my model. I'm just making. It's there. I gotta make fun of it.
So fucking rude. So fucking rude. Okay, well, that was a quick introduction, but you haven't told us what your content is about. So tell us about it. What is your content? Do you even do content? In fact, are you not a VTuber?
No, I don't. I haven't done content in a while. I like to do content about the VTuber sphere, and it could be like anywhere from indies to corporations. Recently, about some very interesting corporation ideas.
Or just Sanji. Just Sanji. That's it.
I mean, I talked about some other ones like Walker and the one that had all their talents walk out on them. I forget what it's called already. But
Akio Air,
Kawaii,
I think it was.
Kawaii? Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it was a long time ago by now.
I mean,
I'm slowly trying to get back into it.
It wasn't that long ago. Like, it quite literally was like probably like 2 months ago. But then again,
that is still back in 2023.
You realize that 2023 hasn't been that long.
3 months ago.
2. Where do you get the 3?
We're in March. It's 3 months ago.
Mama, do you know how to count?
No, I got dyscalculia. I don't.
It's 2 months. January, February.
By the time this comes out, it's gonna be like 5 months. So either way, I'm right.
You know what? We're not gonna talk. We did not come here to talk about how long I take to edit. Okay. Anyway, yes. By the way, we're recording this on March. In fact, she is my first viewer. My first viewer. Imagine. No, she is quite literally the first guest that I have here. Literally the only person who would say yes. So, we had to make do.
Don't sell yourself short.
It's been 4 months since I sent those fucking emails, bitch.
I'm just an easy one to get access to because I just say yes. You're such a fucking liar. You don't collab with that people that often. But also, it's mostly just because you're my friend. Now that you have told us what your content is about, and wait, I don't like how short I am on your screen. Make me taller.
No.
I look like a child next to you. Put me up.
You are not even. Okay, do you want me to get the booster seat? Is that it?
No, I'm canonically like 2 meters tall. Put me up.
Okay, hold on. Let me go find. Hold on. I need something real
Did
quick.
you make me shorter? No. Up, 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 up,
Wait,
up.
hold on. I'm going to find the booster suit. Hold on. I'll be back.
You're such a bitch.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be here. Okay.
No, put me up.
Fine. Hold on. I.
There.
Wait.
That's too tall now. I don't want the lower half of my body showing because you can see that it's not rigged.
Oh, hold on. Let's expose them
that's good,
toes.
that's good,
Let's
that's good.
let's expose them toes. Yeah.
No, my
She-
PNG. Don't forget
Oh Lord. Okay, fine. Are you okay there? Or are you still gonna whine like a baby?
That looks good. That looks good.
You're not even that tall. You're such a liar.
What do you mean?
The proportions of your head do not allow you to be that tall.
We don't talk about the proportions, okay? I'm a flower. It doesn't have to be human anatomically correct, okay? I just gotta look the shape.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of you being a flower,
Are you
right?
side-eyeing me? Don't check me out like that. I don't like that.
I'm quite literally reading off my side screen. You're not that
You're
important.
doing this. You're doing this.
You're not that important. Am I reading on my screen? Jesus. Okay. So, I have my notes here. I have my cards, right? I don't have you guys cannot see my hand, but in my right hand I have some notes, right? So, the thing is, speaking of you being a flower, right? Did your sexuality, you already told us you are everything and nothing under the sun. You are the light and the shadow. You are the Kingdom Hearts. Did your sexuality somehow impact your content or your appearance as a VTuber?
Appearance-wise, my gender affected that. Not really my sexuality, but like for content, I'm more interested in looking at like subgenres and smaller niches of VTubers. So I guess yeah, in a way it shapes my Be Real and Ask a VTuber content, but not really my main content. Because I like hearing voices from the fellas, the homies, and I'm also Asian, half white, so that also makes me interested in getting Asian voices and people like Black voices on to my channel because I just like promoting the smaller niches. Also, most of us in the VTubing sphere are like queer in some point, so it's like no matter who I have on, no matter who I have on, they're probably gonna talk about being gay anyway.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's just like I feel like we as like VTuber community is just like most of us either listen. There are three types of VTubers. There's three people who thought it would be easy to be a VTuber to get girls, which is probably the most anti-girl thing you could ever do. Or
people actually think that.
I've seen some people. But yeah, I mean, I seen some dude bros pretending they actually like VTubing. So we don't know what the streets are doing, but I hope they're doing fine, right?
It doesn't even make sense to me how you would get girls unless you have like a really swag hot model. But like,
even then though,
try to get into VTubing, they probably don't get a hot model. They probably get
one of those douche ass models with like the like the goatee or something.
Oh God.
I mean, then again though, what is his name? He was a.
We're name dropping people? No,
I am no, and in the positive sense, in the positive sense. There is one VTuber who was like he was really hot. I think he's dead now, but like if that isn't like he's not streaming anymore as a VTuber.
Oh, okay.
But he was General something.
That's Commander Chaos.
Oh, there you go. Okay, hold on, and we're back. Just kidding. So yeah, Commander Chaos is actually one of those few VTubers who actually managed to pull off facial hair. you know?
There's a couple other indies, like, I think what is his name? Horangi? He's bald and he's got, like, a goatee going on. I don't remember
I
his
mean,
name.
apparently being bald as a VTuber is an epidemic now. Because I mean, turn the side, turn the side.
Okay, there I am. There's my bald.
Yeah, she shaved her head by accident. We had to. We
No, it's my flower persona. From the front, I look decent, but from the back, all my accidental like, ooh, wait, you're kind of alien features pop out. You know, not even from the front either. Never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say. Was that supposed to be convincing? You're
If I
quite.
close my main eyes and if you pretend the one in the middle of my nose is a giant blinking wart, then you have a
Ew!
normal
Gross.
face.
Okay, you know what? So the thing, going back to the actual point, like, do you? So you make it a do you make it a point to keep your queerness separate from your content? I know you talk because you have talked about the queer VTuber community before, particularly during the Lycoris section. I'm pretty sure, and quite a few projects that you're doing do involve the queer VTuber community. So, do you make it a part of it? Do you make it a point to make it a part of it, or do you prefer to keep it separate?
I genuinely I have no qualms about
Clogs.
talking about my gender,
Mm-hmm.
talking about other people's experience in the queer community,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm one of the lucky ones who found out I was queer when I was living in California, which is probably the most safe place you
Ah.
could be to discover your queerness and
I
explore
don't
that.
think I don't think nowadays that's the case, but
In certain areas, it's pretty safe. So, I
Mhm.
was in a very welcoming community, the
Mhm.
type of thing where people would always ask you what your pronouns were before, like, when you first met them, like, that was a
Mhm.
very new thing for me,
Mhm.
and I never really faced any hate, like hate crimes
Mhm.
or, microaggressions, so, in my experience,
Oh, so
I don't feel the need to be, like, quiet about it, in the closet about it,
mhm.
because so far my experience has, been luckily
Very
very
positive.
positive.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
so I
wait.
know a lot of creators maybe or a lot of people in general,
Mhm.
maybe they're afraid to talk about it or, they don't want people to find out their
Mhm.
VTuber being queer and then someone traces them back to their in real life self who may not be in a safe
Mhm.
situation. But for me, I feel like I am able to not only talk about it, but get people on my channel who will also be able to talk about it
Mhm.
in a safe environment. So, like, in that
Mhm.
way, all the hate comments that they might get will be hitting me instead of their own personal channels. So, I hope I can make it like a dedicated space for queer
Oh.
people,
So so
perhaps.
so you make it a point. You make it a point instead of like not necessarily consciously, but you're trying to make it so people can express themselves. The gays can come into your channel and just be like, "Hey, I'm gay," and you're like, "Girl, me too."
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Mhm.
again, it's not really a conscious decision to do
Mhm.
this. It's just because my experience has been so positive, I don't have the anxiety and worries
Mhm.
that most people would when they're bringing that type of content into the
Into.
public.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, this actually explains a lot about you. It explains why you couldn't pick a struggle when it came to being gay. You're just like, all the
I
letters, give it to
don't.
me. You look at all of the letters soup, all of the soup letter, and just like, you know what? I would like all of it. Thank you very
I
much.
am all of them. Thank you.
I mean,
Because
technically.
when you're in the real
Mhm.
world, when you're walking about doing your real world job, it's not like your
Mhm.
queerness and your identity comes up, right? It's like it doesn't matter if I'm in the office, I'm like, I can be gay and silent. I can be queer and silent. Like these people around me don't need to know that I am not a miss or a mister.
Mhm.
But when you're online, that's when you're like kind of free to talk about it and free to Why are you looking like that?
I was just drinking drag me, and it's not like, girl. I was in the Uber the other day, right? And I was coming back from work, and the Uber driver straight up asked me, you know, did you ever feel any trauma about being gay?
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, and I didn't even say anything. It's just like I was just talking, about my
You're
day.
too outwardly gay, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Apparently,
Too
apparently,
political. I don't know, maybe I just pass as a normal person then. But I always feel like I look very
I don't
queer and I
think
dress
I
very
don't think
queer.
you believe me. I don't think you pass. I seen you in real life. You don't pass.
I don't pass as a gay.
No, you don't pass as a straight person.
I don't pass as a straight person, right?
Yeah, you
But
don't
when I'm in
pass.
Japan,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of girls in Japan that have like really short, like boy cropped hair, and nobody assumes that they're
Even
lesbian and nobody assumes that they're
though.
queer. It's like one of those things where people are like, "Oh, I'm so offended that you misgendered me." You know, like, and I understand that if you're like
Mm-hmm.
visibly trying to be like a
The
trans female
opposite.
to male, male to
Uh-huh.
female, and someone's like actually disrespecting you by calling
Mm-hmm.
you a she when you're actually a he.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I don't nothing. My gender is nothing. So no matter what in the English language, you're gonna end up
Yeah.
calling me a gendered term anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
it's okay, whatever.
The funny thing for me is I am the opposite. Like, despite the fact that that this person took all of the letters in the letter soup, I'm also all of the letters in the letter soup because um, I am gender fluid. I am
Woo,
the gender. You know,
woo.
I take all the gender. Whenever this person is just like gender, no, I say gender, yes. You know,
There we go. We're yes and no.
exactly. That should be your Halloween costume. Um,
Just say yes and no.
exactly. Just
Gender yes.
just quite literally a T-shirt that says gender no and gender yes. You know, just a T-shirt.
Woo. But that's how I like to introduce myself, cause like
Mhm.
my mom is like in her 60s, right? She doesn't quite
Mhm.
understand LGBT stuff, and so when I try to explain what I am, I just go, "Mom, my gender is no, and my sexuality is yes." And she's like, "I still don't quite understand, but I think that makes it a little bit more easier than saying that you're pansexual and non-binary."
Because honestly, I think for the longest time, people equated those terms to be like opposites to each other. You know, like
Mhm,
it is very recently where we've finally been able to make the distinction between sexuality and gender. You know,
mhm,
I may be gender fluid, but I still identify as a gay man. Because you
mhm,
know,
that's fine.
because you know, here's the thing, right? Here's the deal, and I recently like made the full switch of allowing people to call me she or her, instead of just, you know, being very strict about the he too. Because I
Mhm,
was, for the longest time, I was like very, I felt like, wait, are people gonna question me and question my identity as a gay man if I allow them to use he, her? Like,
mm.
would they question that? And then I slowly started to realize there is no way I pass as a girl anyway. My voice doesn't allow me. So there is no point. There is no point of me worrying about it.
There's a bunch of gay men that use she, her as well anyway.
I know.
Like drag queens and
Yeah, but it's
people
just
in that
like,
sphere.
well, the thing is, though, is that being gender fluid on top of being gay is like, you know, just like you, I am not able to pick a struggle. Like, it is putting myself on a box within a box, you know? It's just
Mhm,
like,
mhm, mhm.
it makes the dating pool even smaller, if I'm honest. So that's the reason why I'm forever lonely, and that's why I have acquired literally 500 hours playing a video game over my fictional boyfriend. But you know, we're not here
No,
to talk
see,
about
it's
that.
not because it's hard, it's because 'cause we're VTubers.
Oh,
That's why.
you know what? When you started your career, you started reading off the yokai Wikipedia page. I mean, you know, you were telling us about yokai and stuff like that. Um,
I wasn't reading off the yokai page, I made my own script, what the fuck?
but you
Whoa!
know, we'll pretend, you know, for fun, we'll pretend that you actually did that. But anyway,
Wha
uh, that was up to your I infiltrated the VTuber Twitter video,
Uh-huh.
and after that, you slowly started like fizzling out the yokai content. I think you only made one more yokai video before you stopped and never again. So, do you ever wish you could go back? Like, is that something you want to do?
Revisiting yokai? Yes, but the
Mm-hmm.
type of that type of, short content? No. And the reason because
Mm-hmm.
when I was first trying to be,
Mm-hmm.
I decided I was gonna be a VTuber, but I didn't really know what content to make because
Mm-hmm.
I had no like interest in making long form commentary videos at the time because I just
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the skill set to do that and I don't really have much of an opinion on anything that people should hear.
Do you? The
um,
question is though, do you even have the skill set now?
what the? I'm logging out. What the? Why did I came here to be disrespected, it seems. No, but
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. She does very very amazing documentary content. In fact,
oh my
I,
god.
I'm pretty sure I was one of your first subscribers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, you don't remember a lot about me apparently, but
No, because I remember when I joined the VTuber Senpai Discord, a bunch of people from that server all followed me in mass. So I
oh,
can't. I literally can't remember who is like one of my earliest ones or not.
I was one of the earliest ones. I was there prior to you posting any other VTubing videos. I think you posted the one with I'm Federated VTuber Twitter, and then I started following you after.
Aw, thank you. That's
You know,
nice.
so no, but I don't
You were
want.
there from the
I
very
don't.
start.
I actually, unlike someone I know, I actually do watch my friends' content.
Whoa! I watch some when I have time.
Literally like 2 seconds of a stream.
No, it's I usually put on people's VODs when I'm trying to fall asleep. So technically I have watched.
Wow.
But I was
You're
unconscious.
You're calling me boring. I see how it is.
No, I need background noise. And usually people aren't like
Mhm.
screaming and playing like Apex with the big gunshots. So I just tend to watch like
Okay,
the
then
Zatsudan style one.
you're definitely not watching me then, because I scream about men. So
Wait, we're like so far
from the
off topic right
from
now.
the question. Okay, let's go back. Let's really back in.
Wait. Okay,
So the question
let me reel
the
it back
question
in.
was the question
The
was
question was, am I gonna go back to being yokai creator, right? And
like
the answer was maybe, possibly, eventually, because I know there's a lot of interest in yokai and folklore in general in the VTubing sphere. Obviously, you see tons of fox girls, kitsune, all that stuff. So
I'm not
I
even sure
could
that they're
technically
yokai, and
eventually.
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure that those people are yokai enthusiasts. I'm pretty sure they just want to be fox girls.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, that's a possibility. But I could start making a series again about it, and I had a couple of ideas, but
Do you?
when I first started
Uh-huh.
making the content, sorry, let me talk. Shut the fuck up.
Oh,
When
I'm
I first
sorry.
started
I'm
making this
sorry. I'm
content,
sorry. Fine. Whatever. Continue.
and I wanted to do a yokai compendium and try and get as many yokai as I could, like listed out, so people could like hear about the yokai that maybe nobody knows about unless you're really a nerd like I am. But when I was on TikTok, because I picked my platform of choice and it was TikTok at the time, and that didn't work.
Bad choice,
But
but
on TikTok, there's like a bunch of other people also doing very similar things. And then there's one guy in particular who did like a daily upload. And he had like a really low and kind of sensual voice that was like nice to listen to. And back then when I first started, I had a shit quality mic and I didn't like my voice and I didn't know how to do YouTuber voice. So I was like, yeah, there's clearly no way someone would watch my stuff over his. So I was like, okay, this niche is already filled. There's no way I could expand my growth if I, power through, because I don't think people would watch regardless. So I used that time to learn how to make like edits on DaVinci. Like I learned how to keyframe, I learned how to do transitions, I downloaded a whole bunch of with plugins and stuff to help with the editing process. So it was just kind of like my training arc, my anime training arc for a few months. But if I do want to revisit it, I would probably do it like interview style and get a bunch of different VTubers on to act out, act out scenes. I'll make like a little skit and have them act it out, and then I would like edit them all together into the video.
You know what would be so fun is like if you get them to like record footage of just in the like streamer or something, and then you like interrupt like an actual National Geographic documentary, just like, here we are. This is the kitsune in her prime habitat. She's currently telling her chat to shut the fuck up. That would be so fun. Your yokai stuff like was not really my cup of tea, but because I care very little about folklore, even though
Fair.
it's just I like fun facts, but like I guess in that sense I'm not really quite interested in that kind of thing. At least not yet. It's just one of those things that if it pops up in my like YouTube recommended, then I'll watch it. But most of the times I'm not into that. But I thought it was really interesting when you started doing it, and then it was a bit sad when you like move away from it because I was like, oh, well, now the whole yokai and yokai expert VTuber is gone, but I don't know what
Not
that
gone, just
tagline's.
busy.
What? Sorry.
Not gone, just busy. But no, I can see that when
Mm-hmm.
you kind of get used to someone's content, and then when they shift out of it, you're like, whoa,
You're like, wow,
that's
you are
crazy.
not the person I know.
I guess, like, what if you, like, transitioned into gaming commentary and then, like, completely left all your fashionista stuff? Like, that would be a complete brand change for you.
Not even
So I
really.
can see that.
I mean, not even really, because I do like playing video games. It's just that I do relate fashion a lot to video games because I like character design. So I like to look at characters sometimes and just be like, huh, that does
Okay,
not match
that's
them.
not big enough change. What if you got into football?
Okay, then it would be a big enough change.
That'd
First
be a
of all,
drastic change.
that is such a straight people energy, bitch. Like that. How could with this boys this face? How do you even think I could get into football?
I don't know, just look at a bunch of clips of hot, sweaty men.
Okay, well, you make a good compelling point. You know what? It would be fun though. Maybe one day I will just be like watching like a football game, trying to figure out what the fuck they're doing, and like maybe make my own commentary on it. You know?
There you go. 7
Oh.
hot, sweaty men chase each other to the end. They go and tackle this one guy, pile on him.
Oh, my dream, my dream. Speaking of hot sweating men, you mentioned something about
Speaking
that
of hot, sweaty men, wow.
we love that transition. I am great with transitions if you haven't noticed. But speaking of men that are hot and sweaty, you
Mhm.
mentioned that there was someone else doing the same thing as you, but he was more masculine presenting. He had a sexy voice. And that brings me
I'm not
to
giving you his link.
uh, well, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that once the police gets here. What is it like to be agender in a space that actually cares so much about the way that you present yourself? Not even just VTubers, uh, content creation in general. Because as we said, just because he was a man with a sexier voice, he got more attention than you. Yes, the mic
Mm.
quality was a big part of it, but it was legible enough. You could hear it well enough. So, do you think that affected it? And again, what is it like to be a gender in a space that really cares about this kind of stuff, the way you look?
Mm. I think like having a good voice, a sexy voice will
Mm-hmm.
always give you an extra boost. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily carry your content, but
Mm-hmm.
that's why Corpse Husband got as huge as he was because he
Mm-hmm.
was just a guy and then he like shocked people with his voice. Suddenly he got a couple million
Mm-hmm.
subs. So like yeah, same with Vox. Like having a good voice does benefit, and usually it's a masculine low deep voice that really
Mm-hmm.
benefits from it. Um but in the case with that guy doing yokai stuff, it was a couple of things, like, he had been doing it for a while, like, he had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
shorts already in his thing, he had a upload schedule of every day,
Mm-hmm.
he had a Patreon, and, like, he was clearly someone who had been doing it for a while and was passionate about the topic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was new, and my model was self-made in what is that one? The 3D one called?
Be right.
Yeah, in Vroid.
Uh-huh.
So, you could see the budget wasn't quite there, and it was very,
Mm-hmm.
very clear that I was new to it, so, yeah, beyond that,
Mm-hmm.
as being a gender, I don't think if you're just a person on YouTube and you're, looking at VTuber clips and you click on a
Mm-hmm.
video that interests you, and you'd never seen this VTuber before, I don't think your focus is on this is a girl, this is a boy, this is a gay. You are
This is okay.
focusing on
the three
you're focusing on the
the three
content, right?
genders,
You're
the three
thinking
genders. This
the
is a
3
girl. This
genders,
is a
girl,
boy.
boy,
This is
gay.
gay. Exactly. Oh my god. Uh huh.
And, clearly my model has a very feminine leaning
Mhm.
art style, and that's just because the person I commissioned for this model
Mhm.
only drew female leaning characters, and that's
Mhm.
fine. I just wanted it because it was a cute art style and it was pretty cheap. It was really cheap. That was my main reason for choosing this artist. Um, and it's not like this doesn't represent who I am because, yeah, my voice is female, So it doesn't bother me.
Mhm.
And it's not like I don't need to say, "Hey, I'm agender, by the way," to every person that watches my content. So, I mean, I'm sure in the space it does affect certain
Mhm.
people because if I
Mhm.
bring up can I name drop people in a good way?
Sure. I mean, they don't care about us. They don't care
Okay.
about my little 150 sub channel. It's
Okay,
fine.
okay. Because you know Toledo, right? AO Toledo?
Yeah, I know about him. I see
Yeah,
him around. Mhm.
he has a kind of a higher voice as well. Like, it's not necessarily like a super low masculine voice, and that's fine.
Mhm.
And his model or his PNG also has some feminine leading
Traits.
traits.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I know I see a bunch of people, in the comments you see people being dorks about VTubers in general, right?
Mhm.
And there's some people who are like, "Oh, you're such a gay, you're such a but the majority of comments are there talking about, "Oh, I love your content. I love your commentary. I love your
Mhm.
editing style. Like these are such good points." So,
Mhm.
in the end, even if you are visibly gay,
Queer. Uh-huh.
non-binary, part of the LGBT community,
Mhm.
um, people are there for content. People are there to be
Mhm.
entertained.
Mhm.
So, even if you are trans or if you are gay or you don't like your voice or your voice doesn't fit your model or anything,
Mhm.
just do whatever makes you most comfortable because in the end, people are going to be there to watch the things that you produce, not the person
Mhm.
that you are.
Do you ever feel pressured by others to fit into a box of what queerness should be, or how you as a creator should express it?
Sometimes I get people who are like,
Mhm.
if you're trans, why are you, looking female? And it's like I already
Uh-huh.
told you. I already told you it's because this is the model I got. I there's no other reason for that. You
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
um or I'm completely fine with voicing over female presenting characters.
Mhm.
Like I do voiceovers. I lend my voice to some people for videos and stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't mind playing up like a mommy voice or a uwu voice that fits like a girl character because it's
Mhm.
just my voice. I'm just playing a character. It's not who I really am. I haven't actually had people comment like
Mhm.
this you're like, "Are you actually gay? Or are you actually agender? Or are you actually trans? Because you don't act like it," Like,
Yeah.
I've had a problem with people, like, falling in love with me because they think I'm a girl,
Oh.
like other VTubers and viewers.
Oh, we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
that tea later. We're gonna talk about that tea later. Do you want to talk about that on camera?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember his name, I blocked him.
Okay, fine, but talk about the experience. Talk about the experience.
Okay, wait, first I'll talk about the comments because they're
Mhm.
one-off comments, they don't know that you
Mhm.
know, I'm
Agender.
the queer because
Mhm.
I don't, like, champion that around in my videos because it's
Mhm.
not an important part of my video and content stuff.
Mhm.
So I get comments being like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you are such a
Oh, I have
wonderful
seen the.
woman," and things
I
like
have seen
that.
those.
And
Yeah. Uh huh.
those I don't really care about. I don't have a super strong
Mhm.
reaction, but it's when they come into my stream chats
Mhm.
and they are clearly trying to hit on me because they perceive me as a probably straight woman.
Girl. Uh huh.
Yeah,
Even though you act
that
super gay on your fucking streams every single time you're looking,
do
oh,
I
pretty,
act
like,
gay?
bitch. Every single time you walk around, you're like, oh, that's a pretty lady.
Oh. I mean, I'm obsessed with a K-pop boy band right now, so I feel like that's pretty heteronormative.
Is it? I'm
Is
starting.
it?
I'm starting to think that. Listen, I'm starting to think that the only people who are actually obsessed with men, like twink men, are lesbians.
Twink men. Actually, you're kind of true. The majority of that fandom is gay lesbians.
I'm telling
So,
you. I'm telling you.
I mean, have you seen Park Sung-hwa? That man
Oh
is
no, I've seen him.
he is
You
so
showed me
gender.
you showed
He
me
is
fan
so
cams.
gender. Yeah, that's my
Oh
mother.
my god, I should have made that one of the questions. What the fuck happened with the K-pop? But it's not. It's...
We'll talk about that later. But in general, yeah, I've had some problems with people
Mm-hmm.
like thinking that they could, I don't know, become my friend to eventually
To
talk deeper
eventually.
about romance and stuff just
Mm-hmm.
because I look the way I do, like my model looks the way it
Mm-hmm.
does, and my voice comes out in a certain pitch. When, I'm not here to well, first, I'm not here to make friends, really. You really are the only you actually are the only other person I talk to on my VTuber side. Like, I never go into
Mm-hmm.
voice calls ever. Never ever.
Yeah, but I also feel like I'm also the only insane person to stay awake until like 4 in the morning talking to you.
That is very true. Our time zones are
Yeah.
so hard, but you still do it, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoy talking to you. And listen, and you know that if I'm in a private voice chat with you, it's because I genuinely do enjoy talking to you. Because
Aw.
normally I prefer to hang out on bigger spaces where I can like hang out with different people, you know?
Mhm.
Having one-on-ones is normally something I don't do because, I am I may be an extrovert, but I'm socially awkward. I don't feel safe on a person to person environment. I was so nervous talking to Raylis. So
Oh.
uh, I prefer when we're on a group and I can get to socialize first.
Mhm.
So if
Mhm.
I have the confidence to talk to you one on one, you should know that I really like you. Otherwise,
Yay, that's so nice. Wait, cuddle, wait, bonk
yay.
our heads
Hold
together.
on, hold on.
Yay!
Let me get closer. Whoa. Yay.
Yay!
But yeah, it's just I really appreciate you so much. Yeah,
Aw.
you may call me your only VTuber friend, but I don't like to make the distinction. You're just my friend, and you're pretty close to me. Like,
Aw.
if I had to like cut out, imagine if I had to cut out friendships, and I only get to keep five. You will be on that five.
No, you can't say that. Oh my god. Don't.
Yeah, but sometimes
But in
it's
general,
that.
I talk to like 5 people max in my day-to-day life, and you're one of them, so
Yay!
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 Introvert.
Gay friendships, what the fuck does this have to do with being gay? It's because we're gay folks, so it has everything to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my struggles as a creator, being gay and socially awkward. Also, I found out recently what type
Mm-hmm.
of partner I'd be probably,
Ooh.
maybe.
Do you wanna tell any possible suitors that may be watching this video? Just
Oh, fuck no, there's nobody. There's a app that lets you talk one-on-one with,
Oh
your
my
favorite
god.
K-pop idol. You have to pay a
What?
subscription. Um, but it's like you can text them and it looks like a one-to-one conversation, but for them, they see all the fans talking, but you only see his texts. So I've been talking to my favorite K-pop idol Jung Young from ATEEZ, and it's like an everyday thing. I talk to him. I go, "Good morning, good night." I tell him my day. Don't do that. Don't do that. Put your model back to normal. And sometimes, he always closes up his talk with "love you," and so I always say "love you." And, um, that's the most parasocial I've ever been in my life. But it opened me up to realizing don't disappear. It opened me up to realizing that I'm a big texter when it comes to relationships.
You know what? You know what?
Come back. Come back. Come back. I'll text him right now. I still have a couple messages to read. They only let you send 5 text messages for every time he sends one text. So I've used up I have one more message and he hasn't been on since yesterday. I told him, "Love you," with 2 hearts, and then I said, "Eat a good dinner. I'm having leftovers," with a sad face. And then at midnight today, I said, "Good night, ooh," and then I said, "I hope you can have a day off soon. Relax and enjoy Japan. Have a good day today," and that was at 6 a.m. And so I'm gonna text him again. What should we say? "Hi, my love. Come back. I broke into a coffee shop today." And, I'm on stream recording a video. Have fun today with a heart and a ooh PN face. There you go, sent. Um,
You know,
so
you know,
that's what I do with my free time every day now.
when we talk about being good friends,
You didn't need to know this about me.
I'm starting to rethink a lot of things.
Stop.
I thought I
I
was
told
I thought I was crazy for playing a game for 500 hours, but
they offer this as a service. I'm just taking full advantage of spending $67 for a year subscription.
Oh, you know
okay?
what? You know what? Fine, fine. You know what? Fine. You get that back. Whatever helps you get through the day, sweetie. I guess.
Oh, do you want to hear what else I'm doing? I bought 30 of the exact same album within the span of like 2 days because every time you buy an album, it comes with a piece of paper with like a lottery number on it. And so I've spent like over $300 on the same album to get about 30 of those lottery numbers, and I've inputted them into the system to hopefully win a chance to go and see them at their fan meet in May. So $300 for potentially losing.
So, guys, every profit that's gonna be made into this video is gonna be going to the American healthcare system so that this bitch can get some therapy. I just don't know. Is there anything else that you want to say to your fictional boyfriend? I mean, the K-pop idol that you're apparently messaging.
Jung Young, if
about
you're out there listening, hi, I'm your biggest fan. You have motivated me to start dancing again and be a better version of myself. And also, my number is 90.
And my social security number is. The VTuber space is filled with a lot of queers, right? We're all a little bit gay inside. Many of which are part of companies too, right? We already talked about one. There is also a lot of them in other companies. Do you think they should be allowed to express it outwardly? And if yes, how is it important? Because, I heard the sentiment a lot that when you're queer within a company, you're normally not allowed to let them know, particularly like when it's like a talent company per se. So,
Really?
yeah.
In the VTuber sphere?
Yeah, in some VTubing spaces, not particularly in the VTubing sphere, but just in general. But like particularly like Japanese community VTubers agencies is just like they're pretty hush hush about this type of situation. So I want to know, what do you think? Should they be allowed to? I know. Listen. It sounds weird when you say it at the top of like when you say it. When we know Uki, we know Gold Bullet, we know Sakura from Hololive, there is a little queer baiting. Unfortunately, queer baiting is part of what's to say it?
Yeah, I would say queer baiting and using the sexuality to sell to like fujoshi is like a big thing that happens, unfortunately, but it's definitely something that people can play off of, which is one of the reasons why Uki is so well liked, is because he is open to being shipped with other male characters, and like he understands a lot of the same desires that straight women have over certain characters, and so like it's relatable. But also there's open lesbians in Nijisanji Japan.
Are there?
And I
Really?
don't think, yeah, I don't think that necessarily changes their audience. There, perhaps there are some, unicorn fans who, don't want their idol
Mm-hmm.
to be like, well, actually, I'm gay. Well, actually, I'm pansexual, because that ruins the image of this is my pure, unadulterated idol. She or he
Uh-huh.
has no sexual desires, pure and innocent. Like those,
What it
like
uh-huh.
that's like a very minute part of the fandom,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
specifically
feel like
for
it's mostly
streamers.
because I feel like it's
Mm,
mostly because most of the fandom of VTubers, even Japanese VTubers, are accustomed to the Western media.
mhm.
Like being queer is widely more acceptable now. But you know, mostly what I have observed is like, yes, they're allowed to behave gay because queer baiting exists, and and if pleasing the Fujoshis and pleasing the I don't know what the for like the Yuri version would be for that. Um, pleasing the people who like to
Male
ship
gaze.
the what?
The male gaze.
Well, the male gaze, I guess. Pleasing that
Lesbian fetish.
catering to that type of content. Because I also do cater to it. I have been known to engage into queer baiting, even though I'm also queer, right? Um,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, it sells. But I haven't seen, at least to my experience and to my knowledge, I haven't seen them being able to say it aloud, particularly in the Japanese side of things. Because Uki says it aloud all the time, but I've never
Mhm.
heard of the of like anyone who's a lesbian from Nijisanji on the like JP side. Like, are they allowed to say it outwardly?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Huh.
don't remember who it was, but it's one of the very early Niji talents. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that has black hair and,
The ones that
like, a
look.
high school uniform, like, really
Mm-hmm.
one of the early ones. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know her name.
Mm-hmm.
And also there was Gundo Mire, I think, was also openly attracted to women. So, like, yeah, they are open to talk about it, they're open to hint at it. Um, for streamers, I think it's very important, and it's a really good selling point to be
Mm-hmm.
authentic.
Mm-hmm.
So people want to there obviously there's Kfab, which is like acting as a character, but
Mm-hmm.
if you completely erase your true personality behind that Kfab, I feel like it comes off as insincere and
Mm-hmm.
people can't relate to that. So as a selling
Mm-hmm.
point, they want you to show your interests, your, side hobbies, who you are as
Mm-hmm.
a person. But when it comes to, like, the idol sphere, and not
Mm-hmm.
VTubers, but, like, you're probably referencing a lot of, like, Japanese idols or K-pop idols
Mm-hmm.
who we know statistically there's going to be a lot of queers in the media and entertainment sphere because
I mean,
we're just
theater
attracted to
kids,
that
like
sort of
quite
stuff.
literally theater kids.
Yeah, exactly. We're just
Mm-hmm.
attracted to that type of flashy and self-expression thing because we're not adhering to strict masculine gender roles and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. But they can't openly come out and say it because it does negatively affect their image, specifically in the Asian countries that are still relatively conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like a bunch of like if you say you're gay when you're in China, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can get like you could go to jail and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are very real consequences, which I would
Mm-hmm.
understand in that case why they would not be allowed to. But in the streamer sphere, especially when you're a VTuber and you're in real
Yeah.
life is safe, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's pretty welcoming.
You do have that veil of like, okay, at the end of the day, you're not an anime character. At the end of the day, you don't have that many eyes on your face. You
You
know?
don't know that.
Well, I have seen you, so I do.
You don't know that.
Um, but what I mean is just like at the end of the day, they don't have to know who you are in real life,
Mm.
even though they will probably find out because people are creepy like that. Um, so I guess it does have some sense of protection being a VTuber under a company, like being able to say, "Hey, I like penis." So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And you have the protection of, well,
They went.
hopefully
They
you have
went.
the protection of the legal issues. You can get sued for defamation if you continuously dox a talent or you continuously
I mean, they
maliciously attack
do.
a talent.
They do.
Yeah,
Like.
they do. So
Mm-hmm.
you have that backup, and hopefully you're not in school, you're just fully working for that company that you don't need to be scared of being
Losing
fired
your
from
main
whatever
income.
other job you're
Mm-hmm.
in or being outed to your university or something.
You
So
know. there is a very high chance of me being an active content creator, um, that I may one day be fired because of being a content creator, which sucks. I don't feel like companies should care because at the end of the day,
It's outside the work hours, right?
uh-huh.
It's your own personal
Mm-hmm.
time. Yeah, there's some issues where I was very worried about if my online stuff leaked into like got found out by my current job because I do
Mm-hmm.
work with, high schoolers and
Mm-hmm.
parents are really strict about, the people they let around their high schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so far I've been told they cannot fire you for the things that you do outside of work unless it's against the law.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm good to go, honestly. But that is a real fear that a lot of people still carry, which would be the only personal reason why they would not share that they're gay
Mm-hmm.
or part of the LGBT. I think it's okay with the fans as long as you don't actually get into a relationship.
And even then though, I do remember seeing one time Whole Life saying like out loud that hey, they can have relationships. Don't be fucking weirdos.
That is a dream. That is a dream if the majority of people could say that and not have repercussions. But unfortunately, Whole Life is a very cult-like fan base of incel men.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
yes, unfortunately, but at least we know that the company does back them up. So
There's actually not a lot of extremely homophobic people in Japan. Like
really,
individuals,
uh
they're
huh,
completely okay with it. Like they don't maybe they don't participate, they don't really quite understand it, but they're
uh
not
huh,
gonna be like, holy shit, you're gay, therefore I hate you. Because like I've come out as being agender and queer in my
mhm,
school that I teach at.
mhm,
I don't think the majority of people know, but students know. Some
mhm,
students know, some teachers know, and it's not like they can't again, they can't fire me, and they can't tell me not to
mhm,
do it because that's just myself.
mhm.
And again, they might not understand it, but they're not gonna be like disgusting, you know?
Yeah, mhm,
But as a society in general, it is still relatively conservative, and there might be a couple odd bad eggs, but that's the same for everywhere. You can't go to America and be like, "I'm queer," and everybody's gonna love you.
especially not in
Like, as a
Florida.
society, we're generally okay about it, but there's still majority or not majority, there's still a bunch of people that don't
That are not.
understand.
That are not. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
I
mean,
wouldn't I wouldn't say
mhm,
just because Asia and where VTuber companies are based, there would be a rule against it. It's just
mhm,
some people are
mhm.
very loud and wrong on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the internet in general. Speaking of, being you, right? And the way that you are. I would like to have a look down in memory lane to see some of the forms that you've taken in your VTubing career. I think it will
Oh,
be you had quite a few looks to yourself. So why don't we review them a little bit? Let's talk about them. What
okay.
what what was going on during that time? I think it was your first model was the butler one, right? They're appearing on
Yeah,
screen right now.
the V-Roid one, yeah. That was the one I made
Mhm.
in, like, 5 minutes
Mhm.
because I first was waiting on a reference sheet, and I got the reference design, which is, like, I trusted a reference artist to completely make my design for me.
Mhm.
I barely had any input. I had, like, general directions, and I said,
Mhm.
"Go ham." And they made that for me, and then I was like, "Okay, that's what I look like." So I made my Vroid model out of
Mhm.
that, and then eventually, I found a
Mhm.
free or not free, a very cheap, customizable model, which I
Mhm.
used for a couple of my early actually, the majority of my early content,
I mean,
and then
I
I
don't think
eventually
that I don't
managed to
think
get
that
this
Beirut
one.
might have stuck around for very long, but I do want to
Yeah, it
know,
did.
right? I do want to know, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
why a butler? Like, what? It was
Oh, it wasn't a
unfortunate.
butler, it's just because I was doing OG fashion, which is, like, what I'm currently wearing,
Oh,
and that was
okay.
the closest
The
preset
closest thing
outfit
that you
to
can
it.
get. Honestly,
Yeah.
to me, I was like, when I first saw you, I was like, okay, okay, you better work, little twink with a sunburn. You better work. They're getting here for.
My other model is so red. Hold on, I'm gonna be a pasty white naked person for a bit.
Oh God, get everybody Get down. We're about to get
Holy
the white
shit,
people
what is the
jump-started.
button?
Right. Oh
Don't look at my pale feet. Don't look at my pale feet.
God. Do you truly not bother your... Hold on. We need to assess this look. We need to assess. Do you
No,
truly
it's
not...
just that the skin color doesn't reach the feet.
What? Hold on.
It's part of the model, yeah.
I'm gonna put you into I'm gonna put you right here into it, like as if
No,
though you're a
don't
little
show.
doll.
Don't look at my feet. I was
It's...
gonna change it, but I keep forgetting because I don't use this model anymore.
But yeah, hold on. Let me resize you. But look, the very so infamous fucking hoodie.
Yep.
Every VTuber has
This
one.
is the old me.
At some point, every VTuber has the hoodie, the VTuber hoodie. It is a requirement.
Well, it was either this or being sleeveless, so
I think
I needed something on top.
I don't know. I would prefer sleeveless. Although,
no.
Wow. Okay, fine. But
because this model is way more feminine than I'm used to and than I really wanted. So I was trying to cover up and be more masculine, but as you can see, I have boobs in this one.
Oh, you don't say. You don't say. I thought they were prevalent. You know, I could barely see them. They're little mosquito bites. You know, honestly, compared to most female VTubers, they really are mosquito bites.
Yeah. Actually, yours might be bigger than mine.
They are. They are. You know, we talked about how much like being queer impacted you, right? If I'm allowed to say, you know, the interview is about you, but if I'm allowed to say, it actually has impacted me a lot over the years. My gender journey, because I did start out this journey being just a gay man, and then the more it went on, the more I realized that, hey, I actually want to be perceived as more feminine as I actually am. So as it went along, I am no longer comfortable with this model anymore.
Really?
Yeah, no. It's too masculine for me. Which is a lot to say because, you know, it's not even that masculine. It's just
the way your body is built is a little bit on the mask side, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, when I made myself like this, that was actually quite actually the point. I was trying to be like, okay, I want to be a guy, somebody who's clearly a guy who dresses feminine. I want to showcase the power that clothing can have on your body to change your perspective of gender. Because
I see.
Because it quite literally, it does. It does. My shoulders don't look as big if I put my shawl back on. Hold on. Let me put my shawl back on.
You have some very masculine shoulders.
That is not the... There you go. But yeah, my shoulders don't look as big when I put my shawl back on because the shawl is bigger. But yeah, I was like, okay, I want to be somebody who's clearly masculine, who just plays around with feminine clothing to look feminine. And, you know, the more it went on, when I started joining, you know, the whole VTuber Smash Up Pass thing, I started realizing I'm not quite comfortable with the way that people perceive me. Because I was like, because a lot of people think like, oh, look at this big masculine man. Look at the man. Look at that testosterone. You know.
It was read the wrong way.
Yeah, it started being read as like, oh, he looks strong. Oh my god, he looks like he looks like he could carry me. And Mary, I can barely even carry my head. I can barely carry myself. Like, I can barely move my body. What the fuck do you mean I'm gonna be able to carry you? And you know, it was just the thing of, I wanted to be perceived so much as a man, as a gay man, that I did not realize how unhappy it would make me if people perceive me of too masculine. So I'm just not comfortable with this model anymore. I like it. I still like it still because, you know, one of my friends paid for the rigging, so I have to use it. It's quite literally contracted, obligated to.
Well, you have an updated version in the works, right?
Yeah, but I'm too bored to make it a rig, so.
Wow.
It's gonna take a little bit. But yeah.
Mine too. My upgrade is gonna take a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted to do it for my birthday, and then I realized like, no, rigging is expensive. So, but yeah, that's the story of why I'm going through the changes that I have been. And if you actually see, I'm talking about fashion history and talking about your unfortunate circumstances with your history, right?
Mm.
The more I go along during my VTuber journey, because believe it or not, I've been here for 3 years at this point. It's
Wow.
been
Senpai.
I am a long time VTuber. It's just I'm not a long time content creator per se. I'm a long time VTuber. I'm a long time VTuber, I guess.
Leader, no.
Not even because I was streaming, but I just wasn't making any content. The point that I'm trying to get at though is that the more I go on, VTubing has actually helped me with my gender journey, and I hope that people, when they see the VTuber medium just as much as you do, I hope that they take this as a way of self-exploration. And part of the reason why I am so mad with techwear fashion and making a video about it, it will come eventually. It will probably be out before this video.
It's probably gonna be out by now. I'm gonna force you to make that in time before Pride Month.
Fine. But yeah. I talked about before how much I hate techwear because it feels restrictive. And part of the whole point of the content that I want to make is encourage people to express themselves, because fashion has helped me a lot. It has helped me. Like, I may not be able to wear this kind of stuff IRL because I'm poor, but going through this whole journey and the character design and everything, it has helped me a lot. And I want to help other people too. And I also want to break that mold of being like, okay, you have to look a certain way. No, you don't. Look, you look like a sun-dried tomato, and you still are fine.
That's rude, but you're not wrong. I was gonna make a video about that too. How my model gives a certain appearance, and people immediately judge my content based off of that. Like, I get a lot of comments being like, I like the content, however, I can't stand to look at this eldritch horror of a model this person
your model is not even that bad, girl.
Yeah,
there's been worse. Have you've seen my children? Most of my children are a little creepy.
Yeah, there's definitely more horror based. Like, I don't really consider mine to be horror. I just consider mine to be non-human. But there's actual horror ones that have toggles that are very openly I'm here to freak you out. Yeah. But I don't know. People just, they feel like they can comment anything about someone's appearance. So I was going to make a video about that. I don't know if I'm actually going to or not. Maybe it's already out. Who knows?
Who knows? It's rich coming from somebody who makes content out of criticizing others' fashions, right? But the thing is, you see, I almost never criticize VTubers fashion when it comes to, I either make general criticisms or make criticisms on the agency VTubers. Because oftentimes, this is pretty wide knowledge, they have little to no say about the way they look. Like, we just don't address it. But there is a very slim chance that your favorite corporate VTuber had anything to do with the way they look. And
100%.
Like, then it is very, very, you can count in your hand, in a single hand, how many VTubers on the corporate scene actually took care of their model. I only know of Suisei. And I think Flayon is also one of them, but I don't know from the top of my head. I know that Suisei is. But it is very rare, and so I feel like it's okay for me to criticize those. But when it comes to secondary outfits, that's when the taste of the actual person starts to kick in.
Comes out, yeah.
And that's when
big example would be Crony.
Yeah, Crony, like. We know for a fact because she's talked about it before. She hates having big boobs, and when part of the second model was to cover up those big boobs, and that's the thing. I don't like to criticize people on their personal fashion sense because it's personal. Because I have no right to, and I really could, But I'm trying not to because it's just like, it doesn't make you happy, then my opinion doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly. Yeah.
You may not be the most fashionable friend I know, but you're one of them.
What the fuck? How dare you say that?
I mean,
Oh my God.
have you looked at yourself today? Have you looked at how you look at that?
Today I'm wearing a Miku jumper, okay? I think I look very fashionable.
No, but seriously, not joking anymore. Like you do have pretty good taste in fashion. It is unfortunate that um and the budget kept you away from that for so long. And that is
No, it was the country. Fucking America is the worst fashion in the world, I swear. Japanese fashion, you can wear whatever the fuck you want, nobody cares, and I love it.
Oh, we love that. We love to hear it. Why are you wearing glasses? You normally don't wear glasses.
Oh, I wear glasses when I don't have my other eyes. When they're hidden, I wear glasses because I can't see well.
Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. But you don't have pupils on those eyes. How do you see?
I don't have pupils in my eyes? What?
In the other eyes, you know, the ones in your nose and your cheeks. You don't
Oh
have
no,
pupils
they're
in them.
spider eyes. They don't have sclera. Yeah,
Oh. See, folks,
they're all
this is,
seeing.
you know, maybe this is the reason why people think that VTubers are mentally unstable. We're talking about things as if we actually are.
We're keyfabbing. It's okay.
It's okay. Well, let's move on to the final questions, shall we? We only have like 3 more questions. As a commentary creator, what do you think is bad commentary?
What do I think about commentary?
What is bad commentary? When is something not worth commentating on? Or when it's like commentating a thing that you really should not have made this, you know? When does that apply?
When it actively promotes hate and bullying is when I would draw the line. So I think the most time sensitive and controversial one that I made was about the hiring a minor one. I think it should have been made. It was definitely a hot topic at the time. And the only reason why that would have been like sorry, there's a train, a sense of bullying is because that was still an ongoing situation. And I probably should have waited until after the situation was cleared, but I don't know. I was just really heated about that.
Then again though, that's unfortunately the thing that we do suffer as content creators is like we have to strike the metal when it's hot.
Yeah, it's time sensitive, and that's a real big thing. And I understand that, but it was a topic I was really passionate about because again, I'm a teacher. I work with the kids the same age as what that minor in the company whatever age they were, and it was like this is like complete inappropriateness. Like you are not, you should never ever hire someone this age because they're still children. I know their mentality, and like
I mean,
that is probably the
just think about when you were that age. It's
yeah,
just
I was
like
a fucking idiot.
and listen, you still are. Just kidding.
Whoa. No, but like I was an idiot. Like I didn't. I really, really thought I was mentally mature enough. Like I had my.
Me too.
Yeah, I had my facts and I could express myself. Like I could to a certain degree, but I was very, very impressionable. I didn't have world experience. Like my day to day was go to school, talk with my parents, go to school, talk with my parents. Like I had no real understanding of how the world worked, how to socialize, how to navigate a corporate fucking setting. So yeah, completely inappropriate to hire a minor. Even someone in like 18, 19, they still don't really have world experience.
Girl.
I would generally hope to wait until they were like in college or out of college to hire someone.
Girl, you know me for so long. I just got my first job and I'm 24. Getting that experience doesn't come early in your life. No matter how young you start working, that experience will not come early. And
yeah,
even if like there was one question that you once asked, and I think it wasn't like your donation for VTuber agencies video. You posed this question. Do you as a content creator who's just starting out or who perhaps just have a bit of experience on your belt, would you be able to make use of all of the tools that a VTuber company gives you for you to promote yourself, because you mentioned that being in a VTuber agency is not easy and is not going to guarantee success, and it's true. And even then, just now thinking about that question, I'm like, I'm still not ready. I'm still having these questions about content creation, about myself. I'm still self-doubting, and I'm significantly older than her. Imagine
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Which is why I'm so glad she decided to take a break for
Mm-hmm.
like school and her mental health and things like that. But in going back to the original question of what I consider like taboo to talk about in
Mm-hmm.
content, it would definitely be those types of things that
Mm-hmm.
would direct an audience to go and search up this person or
Mm-hmm.
leave a comment about this person in a negative light. Those are types
Mm-hmm.
of things I try to avoid, which is why I haven't really spoken about the whole Niji Sanji going
Mm-hmm.
up in flames fiasco. I made a funny little hee hee ha ha reference to it, but I don't think it's
Mm-hmm.
one within my scope of knowledge to
Mm-hmm.
add to the conversation because I don't have a law degree. I don't know anything about international
Mm-hmm.
business relations, you know? So I feel like the things I would say would either perpetuate misinformation or just add to the same exact thing most people
Mm-hmm.
have talked
Again,
about.
not
Mm.
so. Would you say that when a commentary video is unnecessary is when it amounts to nothing, when it adds nothing, or when it adds, uh, or when it adds fuel to a fire that should not be added to?
Yeah, generally. I mean, commentary videos that don't add anything usually don't get views anyway, so they're just
Mm-hmm.
a waste of time in general. Um, but
Uh-huh.
when it comes to serious things, like this is a lawsuit. This is like someone tried to
Mm-hmm.
commit suicide. Like this is a big deal. I feel like it's irresponsible as a
Mm-hmm.
creator to come in and say things willy-nilly without knowing really the inside and outside and legal perspective because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you could get sued. Yeah, you could say things that could get other people to dogpile the agency talents more than they already
Mm-hmm.
have. Yeah,
Which is something that is happening right now,
it
you
is
know?
happening. It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's half a consequence of a bunch of VTubers making videos about it, and it's half a consequence of just being as big and open and public as it is on Twitter
Mm-hmm.
and 4chan and all those Reddit type sites.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's unavoidable, and I feel like me as a creator adding more to that would just be counterproductive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I have friends who have talked about it, you know, like Rima has talked about it,
Mm-hmm.
the Owl Man has talked about it, and it's not like they're
The
bad
owl
people
man.
for talking about it, you know?
Uh-huh.
It's just like it's a consequence
Mm-hmm.
of being a VTuber related commentary person because you want to talk about the latest news
Mm-hmm.
and you want to hit a good story because not only does it serve to benefit your own
Mm-hmm.
brand, like Rima has shot up in subscribers a
Mm-hmm.
ton just by covering the Niji Sanji implosion.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't consider that bad practice because she does talk with
Mm-hmm.
the lawyers about this. She does give
Mm-hmm.
back history that gives more information to the regular viewer
Mm-hmm.
about the history of things Niji Sanji has done that maybe someone new to the fandom wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But for myself, I feel like that's something I just don't know enough about, so I
Mm-hmm.
won't.
Listen, I love to yap. We've literally been talking for 2 hours. Uh, but
It's been
sometimes
almost 3.
almost three, yes. But sometimes it's just if you have nothing good to say, then don't say it. You know?
That's a good rule. It's just people need to learn
Mm-hmm.
how to hold their tongue. And I get maybe it's half because the both of us we take VTubing as a hobby. It's not a job that we want
Well, I do want
to
it,
be
but
like
you know.
for now, like
For
okay,
now.
for me,
Uh-huh.
VTubing and commentary videos are not my life. I don't want it to
Mm-hmm.
be my career. But
Mm-hmm.
there's other people in the space who genuinely use the funds they get from making videos to fund their,
Their life.
pay their rent,
Mm-hmm.
pay the electricity bills. And, if that's the case, then you come up with a moral dilemma. And I've come up with this moral dilemma before.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very important topic.
Mm-hmm.
However, this will affect people in a negative way if I choose to
Mm-hmm.
talk about it. So
Mm-hmm.
do I? I could get a lot of views and a lot of money really quickly this month if I talk about it and if I
Mm-hmm.
keep milking this topic, or I could sit this one out and leave it to the professionals. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a dilemma that, you know, a lot of
They
people
had to
run
make.
into.
Mm-hmm. They had to make.
Mhm.
However, I feel like in this type of sense, though, uh, it will always be at least. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I feel like it will always be more beneficial to stick to your moral grounds instead of chasing the quick buck.
Yes, which is why I think the Owl Man
Mm-hmm.
it started rising in popularity at the beginning
Mm-hmm.
because he chose to talk about things that weren't negative, that weren't drama,
Mm-hmm.
compared to like False and Kyo.
By the way, again to name drop, and he may or may not watch this video. Whatever, I don't care.
I
Uh,
don't know. Shout out Underhill, you're cool.
Shout out to Underhill, you're awesome. But which, by the way, there is no way to fucking contact you. I've been trying to get into your DMs for this fucking series, and there is just no way. You don't have an open. You don't have a contact email. So you know what? You lost out. You missed out. Okay.
Oh my god. No, but that is one of the
Yeah.
original, like,
Mhm.
people started flocking to Underhill because they were tired of seeing all the negativity, even though there is a segment like Lady and,
Mhm.
Cody and Heidi, they at the end of the false videos, they would post about the good things that were happening.
Yeah.
But the breaking story, the headline news article was always false talking about
Mhm.
something crazy, something batshit that's going on
Mhm.
in the VTuber sphere, which is why he gains that sort of like drama news channel
Mhm.
type of vibe. So when people started realizing Underhill really focused about loving Niji Sanji and loving the talents, and these are all the
Mhm.
good things that are happening, that in this specific case, because we only had a monopoly of drama channels, technically, news channels in the VTubing sphere, people got tired
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
seeing the negativity.
At least we have people like the Owlman who are trying, and hopefully, eventually, it will also be you who gets flagged for talking positive about
Me,
people.
me. I don't post enough.
I mean, you also don't care, but Which, by the way, speaking about you, going back to your career, right? You're one of those.
Career.
You're quote unquote, right? Uh, you're one of those people who have said before that you don't give a fuck,
I
right?
don't.
And it shows, right? Which is it's kind of funny to think about the people who actually most of the time don't give a fuck. They get the attention, right? But that is because
Mhm.
well, actually, that's an interesting question to you. Why do you think that is? Why is the phenomenon of the people who don't care about this job is the ones that are most likely to have high up there?
I don't necessarily think that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's if you're passionate about it, you will
Mm-hmm.
get equal amounts of notoriety from the things that
Mm-hmm.
you make. Because the LootTuber thing was a passion project. It was something
Mm-hmm.
that I really wanted to make and put into the world because there was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of negativity surrounding LootTubers.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, since then, I haven't really seen the LootTuber versus Say So drama happen again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's because of my video, but I think
What are you
enough
talking
people
about?
saw it to
What are you
have a
talking
certain.
about? You have the power. You had it had your new model. It was your new model debut. It was because of
I
that.
think no, like in the general
uh,
VTuber sphere, there hasn't been a big VTuber versus Say So clash in recent
yeah.
times.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think enough people saw my video and had either a change of heart or a open, a better understanding of the
Mm-hmm.
situation so they won't interact with that petty drama anymore, that
Mm-hmm.
people can just live their life. Um and again, that was something that I genuinely just wanted to do. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
because of the money. I knew it was going to be a big topic because tubing is genuinely
Mm-hmm.
one of those clickbaity topics, and I knew it was going to blow up. I just didn't, I don't care about the money I earned from that. Clearly,
Mm-hmm.
because I took a 5-month break after that instead of doing the career boosting thing and
And doing
continuing to
another
make
video.
content.
Uh-huh. But that's something you talked about a lot too. It's just like, and by the way, with my question didn't mean to say that the people who are popular didn't do anything. That's not the thing because clearly they were popular for a reason. What I'm talking about
Mm.
is just like this phenomenon of, but and I say it because I've seen it so prevalent in my side of the internet, right? Of people who quite
Mhm.
literally don't care. They just make content and then get popular, which is, it's quite the opposite story from most of the, particularly when I was starting out, most of the people who wanted so badly to get popular and never did. So that's where my question came from.
I think
Mm-hmm.
people have a general idea of, I want to be popular online. I want to be a popular VTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where it ends. That's where the thought process ends.
Mm-hmm.
I see a bunch of popular people playing video games, so therefore I will play video games. And then they never add anything new. They never do anything that could attract an audience and give a reason for people following you. And it's not like they don't care, like they're trying, but they don't quite have the passion or immediate understanding of, you need to do something to stand out, and you can't just stream, and you can't just be like throwing in thousands of dollars for a nice model. That's like the biggest pitfall for a lot of new, not just VTubers, a lot of streamers and creators in general. They have an idea of, I want to get to this level and I want to make this a full-time career, but they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And that's honestly the big difference, because if you're, I don't want to say if you're like me, because that's stupid, but if you're someone who is just genuinely doing that for fun, that means you have a passion that you're very, very invested in, that you just want to make content out of. You can be very, very invested in Yu-Gi-Oh! And so you're going to make these cool Yu-Gi-Oh! Transitions. You're going to showcase your amazing deck. You're going to do these deep dives. And you're going to hit the audience that likes Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's how you get your audience. Because they can tell that you're very passionate about this topic. You're very knowledgeable. You're probably autistic. And that's why they flock to you, because you're so into that one thing, that they can just, every time they think about Yu-Gi-Oh, they can just go to your channel.
How would you say would be the way to go for most of the newer people who are watching this, who are probably, if they are new or want to start?
Okay, I just want to point out last time the joke I made about being autistic. I'm ADHD autistic. I can make that joke.
Mama, listen, we're all VTubers. We're all mentally ill. It's okay.
I can make that joke. That's what I am.
I
have really bad hyperfixations. But for new people starting out, like, it's daunting to find your niche. It's daunting to figure out how you can be different. That's why I say experiment. If you really like drawing, draw a certain thing. If you really like a video game,
draw men. Draw for me. Draw men. Draw for me.
Draw men. Learn how to draw bara anime titties. Like,
I'll pay you money for it.
Focus in on something that you yourself would be interested in seeing or doing, because you're gonna find an audience that likes it, no matter how niche it is. But you just can't sit at your desk to play Apex without adding anything new. The people that have gotten popular on Apex have been doing other things besides Apex. They have been either pro gamers, like they got to be really fucking cracked at the game, or they have connections either with an agency or like voice actors, or they've gotten popular from other things before they moved into Apex. So like, this is where you really got to think about your creativity, your creative side. Or if you're not a creative person, use that to your advantage. Break down things, talk about math, logistics, because there's also going to be people who are interested in that side of thing.
Yeah, like the whole Genshin theory crafters, like those people,
Exactly.
Okay, like listen, I like me some Genshin theory crafters, I do. They're nice people. They have the personality of a cardboard box. But still, though, you watch them for something different. Like, honestly, you're not coming for me for like the sickest jokes. You're also not coming with me because I may be
I'm
a
not
fashion.
coming with you.
I'm gonna kill you.
That's gross.
I will kill. I will end you. This is why. You know what? Maybe homophobia is right. No, but what I'm trying to say though is like, I don't consider myself an authority in fashion, because I'm clear. I don't have formal education. I just happen to know a lot, and I happen to
Fine.
and I happen to know what looks good together. And at the same time, I'm not the best gamer either. But you know what you're coming with? Okay, you know what you're seeing from me? It's me being stupid. People like me because I'm passionate about things. They don't like me because I'm funny. I'm clearly not. And
You are funny.
sometimes, occasionally, once upon a time. But that's the point I'm trying to get at, though. If you are passionate, if you care about something, even if somebody is already doing it, people will come to you. Even if someone's already doing it, because you like it.
You can add a different perspective because everybody has opinions. The reason why people listen to me is just because I air my opinions. It doesn't make me any different from other people. I just choose to spend my time talking into a microphone and putting it online.
All right. I think we yapped for long enough. So, are there any last words before we go to jail because we are breaking in and entering, we are trespassing? So, any last words?
Stream Not Okay music video by ATs. It's
Oh my
Japanese. Their
fucking
recent comeback.
god!
It's really, really good.
You know what?
Get into ATs.
You know what? And she's muted now. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming out. She is now in the cage. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you got this far, I mean, we did yap a lot. I don't know how much is going to be taken out of this video because, again, we yap a lot and we, yeah, and me and my friend over here, Lycoris, we're very opinionated people, and unfortunately that leads to some things that should not be said in the air, right? So
I stand by all my opinions. Test me. Shoot me a question. I got you. I'll tell you my full opinion on it. I'm not afraid to talk about
I mean,
stuff.
that's the reason why you're great at interviews. The problem is you don't care about being gay, so but it's fine.
Yeah, I don't really care about being gay and like worrying about it because I have no thoughts. My friends, my in real life friends, one of them is an artist, and so what she did is she drew a scale of the three of us of who is the most irrational, who is normal, and then who is irrational on the other side. And she is like super irrationally anxious and like double thinking everything. And then there's like the middle rational 30-year-old friend that we have. And then in the other side of the far
It's
end
you.
irrational is
It's you.
me because I have no thoughts and I just do anything I want.
Which is good because that means that you actually do things, unlike most of the VTubers. But but yeah.
You just gotta turn part of your brain off, be a little bit hyper fixated on the wrong things, spend your time in bad places that doesn't give you financial income, and then you'll be good to go. You'll be a successful VTuber. Trust me.
Of course, you have to spend like literally $300 on a fucking useless piece of paper, right?
Useless piece of paper. Oh, yeah. I also got a bunch of pictures with their faces on them.
Okay, you know what? The recording's getting long. Do you hear that, Sarah? Oh my gosh, the police here. We gotta go, girl. We gotta go. We gotta go, girl. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Wait, take me with you. I can't move myself.
Good luck to you, sweetheart. Good luck to you.
No. I'm a plant. I'll be a potted plant.